Hello, hello, hello. It's your girl Dee Cee and welcome to my channel. It's lunchtime. I am on my lunch break. All right, I have a salad and they call this green leaf salad. 90 calorie salad. And actually it's leaking some water out on the table. Did you see that? I saw that. Let me clean that up before I mess this table up. All right, so we know that the lettuce is washed. So this is my salad. I got my salad from Publix because our cafeteria is temporarily closed now due to the COVID-19. And that just started recently. I haven't been this week. I was there last week, so they might have started Monday. I've been bringing in my lunch. But, nor here nor there. And I have some Mardi Gras wings. If anybody knows Publix, and they Mardi Gras wings are the best. So I went to Publix to get some lunch. And then my salad, I have tomatoes, tomatoes, olives, green olives, and green olives are my favorite, and some red onions. So let's say grace. Lord, thank you for this food I'm about to receive from my mind, body, and soul. And Lord, please put your arm around this country in the pandemic. Amen, 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 amen. All right, let me get this lunch in real quickly. I thought I had turned the TV on, keep me company. All right, I have some chunky blue cheese.
But I mean, hopefully I have a little bit of time.
Oh, the hearings are on.
We've heard boasting from the White House about millions of personal protective equipment, PPEs, as everybody knows them as. Millions have gone out to America, but in fact, to date, we should have had billions gone out throughout America. Isn't that the disparity?
There's a huge disparity, and healthcare workers are having to compromise their protection and their health and safety.
We're gonna listen to the hearings together, okay?
And reuse a single mask
While I eat.
or come up with
And hopefully you are watching them.
That are not proven or tested yet. So that disparity actually is impacting our frontline workers, and those are the people whose lives we really need to preserve so they can treat others.
I have family members who are working in hospitals today on the front lines who have been telling me that they are wearing equipment for days at a time that they're supposed to be disposing of several times a day. They're having to use them over and over. So, thank you very much, Madam Chair. And if somebody could do a better job with the clock, I appreciate it. It kept flipping back and forth. I was trying to.
You're absolutely right. It went from, it got stuck at 444, went to 0, and popped up to 121. So I'm watching too. I thought it was a watchmaker, clock repairman. Where is Daddy when we need him? A pleasure to recognize Mr. Long from Missouri for his 5 minutes of questions.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. And Dr. Bright, you contend that your removal was because the Trump administration and HHH leadership, in particular, lacked scientific integrity. Do you think that Dr. Fauci lacked scientific integrity?
So I don't think my removal has anything associated with Dr. Fauci at all. I think my removal is because of tensions and actions I took between my
Raspberry dressing.
Dr. Cadlick and myself.
Do you know about Dr. Fauci's testimony 2 days before at the Senate Health Committee?
I'm aware of that testimony, yes.
If HHH leadership is so hostile to scientific integrity, as you say, as you allege, how do you explain Dr. Fauci being allowed to testify forthrightly, to serve in a prominent role on the White House task force, the administration, and direct NIAID's extensive research efforts?
So I'm not sure what decisions are involved in allowing Dr. Fauci to testify or not. That's not something.
Can you say that again?
I'm not sure. I'm not aware of what process or decisions are involved in allowing Dr. Fauci to testify or not. I know he was, but I thought, I understood you to ask me if that was appropriate of you and not being allowed to. Maybe. You could
How should he know?
I misunderstood it.
Okay, what I'm saying is you're saying HHS is hostile to scientific integrity. And if that's the case, can you explain why Dr. Fauci was allowed to testify forthrightly in the committee?
And like he said
If they're
in his
hostile,
call.
you let him come out and testify without any, no hold barred.
I'm saying that my supervisor was not following proper scientific process that we have in place for BARDA. I'm not actually saying the administration is hostile against scientific integrity in all cases. So I'm saying in my particular situation, as in my claim, my supervisor was conducting an inappropriate activity that was going around proper scientific vetting. That is what I put in.
Why did you not bring these concerns to Secretary Azar, or his chief, and the Inspector General? Why did you not bring any of them into the loop and say, hey, I have these concerns?
So I believe some of the activities were not isolated with Dr. Cadillac. I think some of his senior staff was also aware of some of the processes that were being utilized to go around our traditional review process, scientific review process.
But would normal protocol in any situation be that you go to the Secretary of HHS or his Chief of Staff or the Inspector General with your concerns instead of just gathering them up and deciding that
Good.
today you're gonna?
Well, I didn't decide that. I was pushed out, sir, and involuntarily transferred without my
But you had
knowledge.
these concerns, so why didn't you take them to your superiors when you had the concerns? And maybe none of this, maybe we wouldn't be here today. It wasn't easy for any of us to get here today.
Sir, I requested that an IG investigation is in my claim, and I think it was in 2018, that they look into what I believe was inappropriate pressure, political pressure on some of our contracting activities in discussion about procurement integrity. And I did not think that was ever followed through on, so.
Did you bring your concerns to the Inspector General?
I do not believe they were followed up through and submitted to the Inspector General. I raised those concerns to our HHS.
You personally didn't talk to the Inspector General, didn't raise the concerns with the Inspector General or with Azar's chief or with Azar, correct?
I raised those with the Secretary's Office of General Counsel. They were present in that meeting, sir.
I'll take that as a no. Okay. You state in your testimony that HHH leadership was dismissive about your predictions about the broader outbreak and the pressing need to act. However, it's my understanding that it was Dr. Redfield of CDC who alerted the White House's National Security Council about the risk of the virus on January the 2nd. In a high-level team with the NSC's Counterproliferation and Biodefense Directorate quickly began meeting to address the possibility of a pandemic. Do you consider Dr. Redfield's actions here to be dismissive about the threat of a coronavirus?
Sir, people were aware of the urgency. What was lacking was the action and how to address the urgency. So when we were raising issues on critical supply chain of medical equipment to protect doctors and nurses, if they're aware of the urgency of the situation and still fail to act, I think that is even more unconscionable than not being aware of the emergency and not acting.
Okay. In your new position, I would recommend that if you have issues, you might go to the head of the department, his chief, and some folks like that. I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. Pleasure to yield to the gentleman from Vermont, Mr. Welch.
Thank you very much. Your job, our job, is to protect the American people. And this fierce virus can be managed if done correctly. Correct?
I believe so.
And in fact, the playbook is established. It's testing, contact tracing, and then isolation, starting with first social isolation, correct?
Yes, those non-pharmaceutical interventions and testing are critical first steps.
Right, and in fact, this virus is across the world, and many countries that have followed that tried and true protocol have done far better than the US. Is that correct?
We have seen differences in the response and the outcomes of that response around the world.
I'll go through some of those. And, you know, the Johns Hopkins study that said that the US had the best preparedness. It turned out we have the worst response, correct? In most cases and the most deaths.
We have the most cases and the most deaths.
And I did some calculations, you know, on January 19th, South Korea determined its first case. On January 19th, the US determined its first case, correct?
January 20th was the US, yes.
All right, and if we had the same response as South Korea by population, they had 33,000 deaths. We would have saved 50,000 lives. In Taiwan, they had the same virus, 22,000 deaths, and again, adjusting for population, that's 60,000 more deaths we've had here. Singapore, 82,000 more deaths. New Zealand, 65,000. The question for us here, for the American people, is why? When we had the best plan, we had the worst execution. So let me go through a few things that you've established. One, beginning in January, before that first case here, FDA Chief Hahn asked the HHS if he could start contacting companies about possible shortage of protective equipment, and he got blown out by HHS, correct?
And I understand.
And on January 18th, before our first case, you pushed Dr. Talbot to convene high-level meetings about the virus, but that was initially rejected, correct?
True.
And then on January 23rd, you demanded urgent access to funding personnel and clinical specimens to develop life-saving medicines, but you were told that the spread was under control, correct?
There wasn't a shared sense of urgency.
On January 25th, you warned others in the administration of the critical need for procuring surgical masks. That was ignored, correct?
True.
On January 27th, you participated in the daily COVID-19 meeting where you expressed frustration with the slow pace of accessing virus samples and clinical specimens from China. You were reprimanded and you're no longer part of those meetings. Is that right?
That's true.
So you and others actually were seeing over the horizon what was coming to our shores, even before our first case was confirmed, correct?
True.
It's been many years preparing for a pandemic, sir, and we understood the threat, we understood what we needed to do.
Exactly. It's
Who you gonna
known
listen
and
to?
it's
A
manageable.
scientist
It's
or a
fierce
politician?
and fearsome. But what you have to do is established. Is that more or less correct?
Yes, sir.
We just didn't do it. February 25th, President Trump gave an assurance that the stock market is starting to look very good and the coronavirus was very much under control. Were you aware of any medically involved people who had the view that the virus at that time was very much under control?
No, we just didn't start.
The virus was under control. I don't think many people would agree with me in the scientific realm.
Now, in those countries I mentioned, it includes Germany, Taiwan, New Zealand, South Korea, Singapore. The leaders of those countries accepted that there was a role only the nation could play, and the provinces would have to depend on them for that. And I want to go through some of those things. One, establishing a testing protocol. Was that done here?
No.
No.
Two, acquiring and allocating and distributing the personal protective equipment to where it was needed, when it was needed. Was that done here?
No.
No, sir.
In fact, we have governments and hospitals competing with each other to try to get desperately needed equipment. Isn't that correct?
A
True.
lot of confusion, a lot of competition, and bad decisions made to acquire poor quality product.
In any of those other countries that I just
Poor
mentioned,
quality
are you
products.
aware of the leader of that country at a press conference making recommendations on what kind of medication people should use?
I don't know the details of what happened in those countries, sir, so I don't know.
All right. You know, we had governors here, Republicans and Democrats, Republicans like Hogan, like Phil Scott from Vermont, who have done a tremendous job. But no matter how good they do their job, can they protect their people without the aggressive intervention of the federal government playing its role?
No.
I think the federal government plays a critical role in coordinating and aligning and making an equitable distribution of those critical supplies. I believe that's what we practiced and exercised in the past, that there would be a critical role for the federal lead in coordination at the state, local, and tribal and territorial levels.
Thank you, Dr. Bright. I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. Pleasure to recognize the gentleman from Georgia, Mr. Carter. You wish to question, or do you want to pass? You're reserved, okay? The gentleman from California, Mr. Ruiz, is recognized for 5 minutes of questions. Dr. Ruiz.
Thank you, Dr. Bright. Thank you for your testimony here, and thank you for your service to our country. My heart aches for the family and friends of the over 80,000 in America who have died of COVID-19 in such a short period of time. In fact, my heart aches for those closer to me. The Riverside County has reported 228 deaths. As a doctor, I appreciate your written testimony that states that science, not politics or cronyism, must lead the way to combat this deadly virus. There's been a lot of hype about cures for COVID that have been shown to be ineffective and even dangerous. We are now seeing the very real dangers and consequences of not making decisions based on science. Hydroxychloroquine, which Fox News commentators and then the White House repeatedly touted and actually encouraged people to use, is Exhibit A on this list. But there is one drug that appears to provide some therapeutic benefit, remdesivir. 2 weeks ago, Dr. Fauci announced that remdesivir showed a clear-cut, significant positive effect in diminishing the time to recovery. My understanding is that in January and early February, you launched a comprehensive review to assess which existing drugs may prove a therapeutic benefit, and you quickly identified remdesivir as the most likely drug to be effective against COVID-19. Can you describe how you came to that conclusion, who you told within HHS, and what the response was?
Yes, sir, that conclusion came about by a technical review from a number of scientists within HHS, the CDC, FDA, NIH, and BARDA. But it was also aligned with a scientific assessment from WHO and a number of global experts who rapidly looked at every potential drug and ranked remdesivir as the drug that had the most potential for benefit.
Who did you tell, and what was the response?
We share that information with Dr. Catlick. We share that information within HHS leadership as well. We had discussions about the actions that could be considered for acquiring the limited supply of remdesivir.
What was the response?
And we had discussions about how to ramp up production of more remdesivir in case the randomized controlled clinical study that the NIH was conducting came through with positive.
So you had a discussion, and what was the response? Did anything happen?
No decision was made at that time.
My understanding is that Peter Navarro, the White House trade advisor, reached out to you on February 7th to seek your counsel. You told him about your top 3 concerns: the shortage of N95 masks, the need for a quote-unquote Manhattan Project to develop vaccines, and securing adequate supplies of remdesivir. Can you tell us if Mr. Navarro agreed with you and what steps you and he took?
Mr. Navarro did agree with me on the remdesivir, the N95 mask, and the vaccine Manhattan Project. And he drafted a memo on February 9th to the White House Chief of Staff and Mick Mulvaney to share with the White House Task Force.
The directive for HHS to act on remdesivir occurred on February 10th. What happened next? And did the department promptly procure the needed supplies of remdesivir?
We did not proceed with procuring any supplies of remdesivir.
Okay. You were removed from your position on April 22nd. By the time you were removed, had the department settled on a plan and procured the remdesivir?
No, sir, they were still discussing presentations about potential donations of remdesivir at that time.
So what you are describing is the gang that couldn't shoot straight, and yet we are in the middle of a pandemic. There is one drug the experts say could make a difference, and in fact has been shown to make a difference, yet the department can't seem to figure out how to acquire it. A week ago, the Washington Post published an article on the rollout of remdesivir, describing it as, quote, confusing, unfair, and marred with incomplete medical information, unquote. Doctors describe how they can't obtain the drug and don't understand the process for accessing it. Dr. Benjamin Linas from the Boston Medical Center said, quote, there's no transparency. The process is just a staggering injustice. Dr. Bright, you were warning about this over 3 months ago. If the department had listened to you and the other experts at your agency, could this fiasco have been avoided?
We would have had a plan, sir. We should have had a plan for that drug and any other drug in limited supply.
So it didn't have to be this way. Here's what I don't understand. You were right about the dangers of hydroxychloroquine, You were right about the benefits of remdesivir. You were right about N95 masks and other critical issues. Yet you got fired from your job while officials who botched the response and ignored your warnings stay in theirs. Not only is this unfair to you, it's completely dangerous to the American people.
Okay, done with me.
The gentleman yields back. I'd like to clarify something just very quickly. Relative to your leave, Dr. Bright. Are you on accrued vacation time now?
I'm sorry,
Are you on accrued vacation time now?
I'm on approved vacation leave today, yes, I talked to that.
And would you be willing to share the exhibits once you remove personally identifiable information?
I'm having trouble understanding you through the
Oh,
mask.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I'm getting so comfortable wearing a mask, I forgot I had it on. Would you be willing to share the other exhibits once you remove personally identifiable information?
Yes.
Thank you. All right.
We will make them available, this is, after the hearing today when we've had a chance to review it.
Thank you.
Well, Madam Chair, will they be made available to the minority as well as the majority?
And made available to the entire committee.
Perfect.
We've never shared anything with the majority that hasn't been shared.
Right.
This is a bipartisan issue.
Okay.
Thank you. Madam Chair, if there's anything in those exhibits that hasn't already been released to the public that might be degrading, will that be kept in confidence amongst committee members?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Not knowing what's in the emails, I'm wondering if there's any information in there that might be deemed to be degrading, would that be kept in confidence amongst the committee members as opposed to being released to the public?
We'll follow the rules.
And that is in compliance with Rule 11. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, I now have the pleasure of recognizing the only
All right, guys.
in the United States.
I'm done.
Mr. Carter.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Mr. Dr. Bright. Thank you,
This was a
Mr.
great little
President.
lunch.
And before I begin, let me extend my condolences to those 80,000 plus who have lost their lives and their families as a result of this pandemic, and a shout out to
That
all
was
of our
good.
healthcare professionals as well as our other essential workers who have put their own health
Publix
in danger
Mardi Gras wings are
in order
the
to
best.
provide
Those are the only ones I like.
to our citizens.
I've tried the others.
Dr. Bright, it's my understanding
Well,
that
I do like the lemon pepper. The lemon pepper is good too, but Mardi Gras,
Associates
lemon
of
pepper.
Agricul-
All right, guys.
Agri-
Cheers to you. Water.
To develop respirators that could be sanitized and reused during public health emergencies such as what we're going through today. However, according to recent reports by the Washington Post, none of these next generation respirators are available for us today. Why is that?
Woo.
Do you
Peace
know
out.
any idea?
See you later.
I'm not aware of that, so you're talking